Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Danielle and I'm from Cageless Readings. So today's pick a card reading, we're looking at what is coming your way this month, and this is a timeless reading. So whenever you find this, I am trusting that it will be when you're going through this cycle and you need this message. So I really did want to use some moon cards. And I only pre-pulled a couple of cards, I only pulled cards from 2 decks. And then I have like a ton of cards beside me here just to pull cards for further clarification around different aspects of your life, but I just kind of wanted to wait until I got into the energy of each pile to pull them. So that's why I did that. And yeah, I'm really curious to see what comes through. I feel so called to do this reading today. So extremely called, like lots and lots and lots of transformation coming in, huge shifts. So if you are picking this reading and you're like, I've been feeling like my life is flipping upside down, I think you came to the right place. I mean, I don't know what's going to come through yet. I haven't recorded it, but I felt like there was just so much happening that was divinely orchestrated. Like I just felt like all these are little like angel aura quartz that I wanted to put in here. And then we have sort of like a shamanic crystal stone here, has like, I think it has like 8 different crystals in it. Yeah, so I was just like, I feel like there's some deep clearing happening and it needed, but it just feels like really beautiful energy, like coming into yourself energy. So that being said, the breakdown in this reading, the cards that I have pulled here are just general energy that's shifting this month for you and some guidance around that. And then we will, after looking at that, pull some cards in each of the piles for career and finances, and then guidance around it, and then some more cards for love life and guidance around that. I think maybe we'll do health. We'll just kind of wing it. We'll see how much time we have and what wants to come through for each pile. So that being said, let's just clear the energy, ground you all a little bit before you choose your piles. So I'm going to do this by ringing this 4 times. So if you have headphones in, you might want to take them out just for a second or turn down the volume so it's not too loud for you. I'm going to do that now. You might also want to take a few deep breaths in and out just to relax yourself and get yourself more embodied. All right. So, pile 1, your crystal of choice is this Trolleite tower or point, whatever you want to call it. Both work. Trolleite. Pile 2, yours is this Lapis Lazuli. Ooh, I kind of like the lighting right now. It looks so like intense. Yeah. Okay. And pile 3, I actually believe this is a piece of, it's so funny, I should have thought about this. I think it's tourmaline. Pretty sure it's tourmaline. Tourmaline here often has a little bit of like red jasper in it or something like that, or is that tiger and iron? One of the two. We'll just call it tourmaline for now, but yeah, there's like little pieces of other things in it. I think it's red jasper for this one. Okay, so if you've never done a pick a card reading before, all you do is you take a few deep breaths in and out. This is just so you get grounded in your body, you relax a little bit, you get connected with your intuition, and you just look at each pile. I know, it's that easy. You just look at each pile, and if there's like a crystal that you're like, oh man, I just really like that, or like that, or like that. That's just how you pick it. Or if you're not a very visual person, in the timestamps next to each pile in the description box below, you can look at those and see if there's a number you've been seeing a lot lately, or a number that means something to you, and that might just mean there's a message for you there. If you're looking at all these and you're like, I'm not getting it, then this just might not be a reading for you. And the beauty of YouTube is there's like thousands, maybe even millions at this point, of pick a card readings. So there will for sure be one out there for you. Don't sweat it. You can go find another one. It's okay. But if not, I'll see you in your card readings if there's a pile that's calling to you here. Yeah, and maybe you'll see Toby too. Hello, pile one. So you all chose the Trolleite. You may or may not know that Trolleite is really soothing for healing emotional wounds and calming people's energy. So maybe that's what you're needing a little bit. I also feel like there's a little message around gentle communication and soothing communication. I don't know why. That's just something I'm thinking about when I look at this. So I'm going to put it over here. It feels like it wants to be by this angel aura quartz. So that's where I'll put it. And let's look at your overall themes for this next month. So we have Shamanic Healer, Cleansing Attunement, Archangel Zadkiel, self-acceptance, compassion and forgiveness, achievement, completion, reward, and we also have creation, self-expression, and something new. Oh my gosh, this is actually really great for overall themes. Let's also just pull these since we have them here. So we have release control, reveal what needs to be seen, release your blocks. Okay, firstly, I just have to say this. Like every now and then I get the impression that someone I personally know is watching a pick a card reading. I feel like if you know me in the day-to-day life, you might have chosen this pile. I don't know, I just keep getting that. And maybe you're not someone who really believes in this, and that is why I feel like I have to say that to you. So thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you don't think I'm a crazy person for doing this. There we go. Sorry, the frame was like bothering me a little bit there. I just had to change it. Okay, so overall themes, why I was saying this is really awesome. So Archangel Zadkiel, as it says here on the card, it's all about like self-compassion and forgiving yourself. So if you've been really hard on yourself, like most people are in this world, where maybe you're just like always like telling yourself you're not doing enough, or you haven't accomplished enough, haven't been loving enough, like whatever, and add the word enough to, that's when this usually comes through. So it's like you're learning to be more gentle with yourself, and instead of like beating yourself up about things all the time, you're gonna start just being like, okay, like this happened. I was emotionally in a place where I couldn't respond in the way I wanted, and what I can do about it now is I'm gonna take this action or do this thing. That's kind of what I'm seeing for this pile. So also the Shamanic Healer, so cleansing attunement. I like this. It just is like another card that says like you're basically releasing old behaviors that aren't serving you, maybe even toxic behaviors or patterns that aren't serving you. And whenever I see Shamanic Healer, it usually says like you're releasing them because you've like gained the insight about how that's actually holding you back in life to hang on to these patterns and cycles. So it's actually a very wise card when I see this. And it just goes so well with this self-compassion card, as you can see, because once you can see how your destructive patterns have not been helping you or serving you, it's easier to have compassion for yourself, to release them, and teach yourself or create new habits. What's the word I'm looking for? New habits and new like coping mechanisms or systems to handle situations. Yeah, I really do feel this is around like being triggered though, like like all our little our little fun traumas we have. We all have them. And I just feel like you're growing through them, growing your awareness through them. So maybe you don't feel like they control you as much as they used to, which is super awesome. Once again, that comes from like really realizing how they've held you back in life. So good job. Probably means you've had a really hard time. And it makes sense, like this crystal was all about gentleness. Just because I think maybe you've been hard on yourself to push through things in the past, and maybe now you're realizing that wasn't going to get you anywhere, and it's the gentleness that you have towards yourself that actually helps you heal and be the person you want to be easier. Achievement, completion, reward. So I actually also love these two cards because it's kind of saying like you're working through this and you're gonna get there. Like it might just seem like self-healing is like an endless journey sometimes, but there is a lot of reward coming in. Like there is a lot of what is the right thing to say here? Like a lot of, I don't want to say blessings, that sounds too religious. There's a lot of I want to say things either. That's like a weird word to describe something that's great. Why am I mind blanking so much already? This is only pile 1. I can't be mind blanking this bad already. Maybe you guys get distracted really easily. I don't know. I feel like sometimes when I read people's piles, like your tendencies become mine just for the reading, and it's like always interesting. And then sometimes I can see how frustrating some people's lives are trying to cope with these attention struggles that some people have. Not that I am like amazing at keeping my attention span, but I think compared to some people, I've realized I'm doing all right. Anyways, what I was saying with this achievement, like I just know that all this work is amounting to an easier way for you, like a way where you're not getting as triggered, where you are like this guy is like joyous, he's like celebrating, he's running. And I even feel like I see like that if you felt like there was like I want to say like a dead weight attached to your foot or a dead weight attached to you, that's going away. Like I feel like it's like past energy for sure. So maybe I'm trying to ask if for specifics. We'll see. We're going to pull like some more specific cards. So this is just general, but I just feel like maybe in your romantic lives, maybe in your friendships, maybe even in your career, you've been like limiting yourself to what you believe you can have or what is just going to be your life. And I feel like you're releasing that. You're like realizing like, wait, why did I settle for this? I'm not happy with this. I want something more. I want something better. And the creation, so expression, something new. I really am curious if to see what else comes through further on in this reading, because I really feel like you're going to change your job or the way you're doing your job, or you're going to change the dynamics of your relationship. Like I don't actually necessarily see you quitting anything or getting rid of anything at this moment for this pile. I just think you're changing the dynamic or the perspective you have and when you're doing that thing. So maybe at work, you're going to kind of shift the energy you're coming at it with. So maybe you've been kind of dreading your job or not loving it. And I feel like something changes. We're going to see. We're going to pull more cards. We're going to get more answers. But we're going to see why this is changing this month. And like I really do feel like this has been probably an energy you've been in for a little while. About recognizing your patterns, but I feel like this upcoming month is like really starting to feel the ease of it, feeling that transition and change in dynamic and perspective you have around it. So it feels like there's just more joy overall in this month coming for you. Yeah, being more expressive, being more vulnerable. That is definitely something coming through, being more vulnerable. So I'm not totally sure what like initiated that for you. I do think it is just realizing how some of your patterns have maybe not served you, have limited you, is like the word I keep wanting to say. I feel like you felt very limited by some of your patterns. It just keeps coming through that way, feeling limited. And this is where it's like, now you're going to see what you want now. You feel more in control. Like you might feel in some ways you're going to be in less control, but you're in more control. It's one of those weird paradigms where it's like you used to try to control it and accept it as a certain way, but then you realize like that way wasn't serving you, and you're just going to go with it more vulnerably and more joyously and more like, I don't know, I just feel like you're expressing yourself more. Like, I guess that's right there. It says expression. Like, I just feel like you're going to be more emotionally open with people. You're going to be more emotionally vulnerable with people. And it feels more joyous for you. Like, you're not like holding yourself back, and you feel lighter and happier. It's great and more confident, which is funny because I feel like like in the past you would have feared this, being in this energy, but really just goes to show how much is shifting for you, that you are feeling more capable. And sorry, the thing I also want to draw attention to is like that these moon cards like match the color of the Trolleite. That's funny because like I said, I didn't actually look at the cards. I just pulled them upside down, grabbed some crystals, put them on top. So I just find it cool that this is a color theme for you, apparently. Yeah. Okay. So release control. Oh my gosh. I think I read this, but I just forgot. Release control. So like, as I was just saying, I feel like, yeah, there was like like, I feel like these patterns you had, or these like self-protective coping mechanisms, were like a false sense of control and safety in your life. And once again, I know I keep reiterating the same thing, but it's really big theme here. You realize that was actually just holding you back in life, and you weren't really living your life fully, and you're not really ever in control. It was a false sense of control and a false sense of safety, because things could still happen that you didn't like. So it's so funny that releasing control actually brings you more freedom, and more joy. So I think you're just going to be in the next 30 days or so, continuing that and releasing it more and more and more, and just coming more and more into like just being in the moment and like being present, and not getting further away from these like self-protection coping mechanisms. So maybe you would like say no to certain things where you're like, I don't know how this is gonna go, I don't know how they're gonna perceive me, freak out, not go to that thing. I just feel like that kind of stuff is going away. So good job, guys. That's really cool. Release your blocks. You know what? I wonder if some of you are going somewhere nice. I know that's kind of like weirdly specific, but, and like general pick a card readings, if some of you have never like watched one of these, you know, like you're not reading general energy. I'm reading general energy for a collective. So there's sometimes like really specific messages that come through just for a handful of people. So you just take what resonates and you just like leave the rest. But I really feel like I'm seeing these like islands with like, I don't know. I see like tropical forests. I know this isn't very tropical looking. And then I see the water and I'm like, I feel like you're going on a trip somewhere where there's like very clean water, like maybe a very pretty blue or something. And then there's like these tropical forests. Coastal tropical forests. I feel like it's so coastal. Wherever you're going, there's like an ocean or a sea or lots of lakes. Yeah, super specific. So that's not for everybody. But I just feel like when you go there, if you've been feeling like really drawn to go there and you're like, I don't know why, it's not a normal place I would travel to. I don't know why I'm doing this or why I feel like I need to be there. I just feel like you are supposed to be there. You are. It feels very meditational. So the place itself may not be like really known for meditation, or maybe it is, but I just feel like it's like you really having some time there to be at peace with yourself, to go within. I know that can be weird to say, but I don't know. I just feel like you're gonna be very self-reflective there. And you're going to be really embodied. And if you're like, what does embodied mean? You know how sometimes we can be thinking 1,000 thoughts in our heads and it's not actually getting us anywhere? I feel like when you go here, it feels like you're actually just in your body. You're just present. You're like, I'm just feeling. I'm just feeling my feelings, feeling what I need to feel. Um, and that's so great for like further kind of like, you know, releasing emotions, traumas, like just feeling your emotions is just how we like process things. And I really think this, if you're going on this trip, um, that's gonna be what gets you there. Oh, interesting. You have two first quarter moons. Interesting. You know what? I'm gonna like I'm not really that into astrology. Like I think astrology is super interesting, but I feel like I would need like a decade to memorize the content of astrology to do it justice, instead of just knowing sun signs, because I don't actually feel like sun signs really explain people very well. I think it's like all those other ones where it's like your moon sign and like your adjacent things and all that. That stuff is like freaky how accurate it is. But what I am getting from this is I feel like you're moving out of being kind of like I don't know, maybe people have told you you're stubborn or stuff like that, or you felt like you've been really stubborn or rigid in areas of your life. And I feel like that's going to be a little bit of the energy you feel like you're stuck in. And then towards the end, I just see you're going to be more in that emotional body, less in the logic of, well, I'm supposed to do this. I thought I should do this. And then at the end of this like trip or this holiday or this month in general, um, because for some of you who are not traveling, I think it's just saying like go outside, like just hear the sounds of waves, be like sit in a park and hear the wind. Just like hear those nature sounds. Very calming. I don't know, it just feels really good for this pile to do stuff like that, do more meditation. And you know what you need to do. Some of you might just need to go sit by rocks apparently in some grass, I don't know, whatever you feel called to, right? But I do feel like water, like, and hearing those sounds of waves feels really cool for this pile. Like really peaceful, calming, and grounding, and centering is the word I want to use. But yeah, when I see the first quarter moon in Scorpio, I just feel like it goes away from that logic mind into more of that emotional body and that heart, and like making decisions based off of what your heart is saying you want to do. And I don't know, if you're like a guy watching this pile and you're like, what does that mean? It just means like you're living more authentically. You're like coming from a non-defensive place when you live from listening to your heart. And that's so beautiful. And if you're a dude in this world watching this, good on you, man. Like that shit's so rare. Like society really actually put a lot of pressure on you to never do that. So you're doing awesome. Awesome for watching this. You might be the friend that I know that might be watching this. I don't know. Maybe you can tell me in our personal life. You don't have to. It's cool. Anyways, and if you're a lady watching this, also awesome. I don't want to take any of that away from you. You are also going through just as many challenges, but I feel like women are kind of like great leaders naturally, despite what society might have said. And I'm never surprised when a woman comes across this, but I'm always like really proud of men because of just the hardship it is for them to go into those emotional places. I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm not dishonoring anyone here. I really want to recognize all of you for going through all this. Yeah, there's just like a lot of like, what is the word I'm looking for? Self-esteem work, confidence work going on here. There's just like, I mean, whenever I see yellow, it's all about your value and your perception of your worth in life. And I love this because I feel like it's saying like you're realizing that you were like worth way more than what you've perceived. And maybe like you've known that, but you haven't really felt that, right? Like you're still making decisions or doing things that that aren't worthy of you. We'll say that. I'll say that way. That aren't as worthy of you. So, so excited for this trip for you guys. It does feel so peaceful. It feels like, if you've been really tired or feeling like a little worn down by life, you're going to go on this trip or you're going to spend this month just kind of like connecting with yourself again and feeling really energized, if that makes sense by that. Like just being like, this is what I needed. Like if you if you read cards for yourself and you would be keep pulling the card retreat, I think, where it says go on a retreat. That's what you need. So yeah. And I don't know if some of you love the stars or constellations, but I keep being drawn to that over here in this card, where I feel like you're like, I can just look at the stars and I have nowhere I have to be and I can just enjoy them. I also feel like you're gonna be somewhere warm enough where you can look at them and not freeze your butt off. So just enjoy that kind of stuff, you know? I feel like you really need to just enjoy the nature. You probably already do, but I think you're just gonna really be able to prioritize that, whatever you're doing or wherever you're going. So cool. That being said, so this is like general energy. Let's look at more specific. I'm trying to see, I think you guys want to do career next. So let's look at your career energy. Also, I want to leave this card out because it's so pretty and I love the colors in it. So we'll just leave it out there. And achievement, I don't know. I feel like you guys need these, so we'll put those there. Maybe you're gonna go run a race. I don't know. Maybe you like trail running. Maybe, yeah, you just like that kind of shit. I don't know. Okay. Anyways, let's see. What cards do you want? I have like so many here. You know what? I don't know why. We're going to do 4 agreements cards. I don't know if you've heard of the 4 agreements. They're pretty old school. As you can tell, these cards are super old. I might even be missing some because they were like, you know, secondhand cards, and those usually are missing some cards in them. But anyways, the 4 agreements is just like agreements you make or you should make or something like that with yourself. And a lot of them are like, don't take people's opinions of you seriously is like the main one I always pull, or I guess we'll see what you get. But basically it's just like make these agreements with yourself in life so that you can be the best person you can be for yourself and others and experience life to the fullest, and not let other people's shit bother you. That's my summary of the 4 agreements. So let's see what you get here. It is a book. You could read it. I think it's like super teeny tiny. That's too many. Let's do, we want to do 3? I don't know. Let's do 3. Sure, this is going to be a super long card reading. Why not? Hopefully you have like an hour. Or not. That's okay. So we have here, so like on one side we'll say like the general thing, don't make assumptions, eliminate gossip, and it's a cute little dog looking all shy. And then we have don't take anything personally, see other people as they are, take off the rose-colored glasses, and don't take anything personally. Again, love and respect yourself. Okay, so we're getting some themes for you. So yeah, there is 4 agreements, and they're like main categories, like don't make assumptions, don't take things personally. I can't actually even remember. Be impeccable with your word, and there's one more. Always do your best. There we go. Those are the 4 agreements, and then there's obviously like lots of little descriptions on what that can mean to you. So your main ones seem to be don't let other people's shit determine your value in life, okay? Take out the curse words or add them more in if you like, but yeah. So anyways, it says making assumptions is a setup for suffering because usually we gossip about our assumptions. We make assumptions and believe we are right. Then we defend our assumptions and try to make others wrong. So I think we can all as humans find ourselves in this scenario where we perceive someone to mean something without actually clarifying if that's what they meant. And usually whatever we have assumed they are trying to say about us is attached to our beautiful triggers and wounding. So we feel super insulted and super, what's the word I'm looking for? I was going to say denied. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, we'll move on. Anyway, so we can get like really hurt, and then it turns out the other person didn't even intend that. That was just like our perception of it because it's such a raw wound. So I think you're growing through this. I think this is something maybe you struggled with some people you were maybe dating. And coworkers. I don't know why. Those are the 2 I'm going to say. So I think you're growing through this month. Whatever comes through usually comes through because you're working on it, by the way. So it's not like being like a jab, like you're not doing this good enough. It's actually saying like you're working on this. So good on you for recognizing this and releasing this. So Good job. You're gonna get less triggered by people because you're realizing that you have sensitivities to topics and things that some people might not even be intending to trigger, if that makes sense. I want to say that actually shows that you have more compassion towards people and trying to understand them, where they're coming from. So anyways, over here, next we have when you see other people as they are without taking it personally, you can never be hurt by what they say or do. Even if others lie to you, it's okay. They are lying to you because they are afraid you will discover that they are not perfect. Yeah, I don't know, that one kind of says it, right? Like, I'm just like literally thinking of people who are being too scared to be overly vulnerable because they're scared of you rejecting them. So it's like a them issue, right? It's like they're just like avoiding being truthful because they can't accept that reality within themselves. So this is a really big one. I feel like I pull this card all the time. It's so funny. Like some piles here get cards that I pull all the time for myself. And other piles, it's like, whoa, we're in such different life lessons because you got cards that I've never seen, which is just cool to see. Okay, next one here, we have, you are never responsible for the actions of others, but you are responsible for you. If someone is not treating you with love and respect, it is a gift if they walk away from you. You may hurt for a while, but your heart will eventually heal. Okay, this actually is a huge theme. So I guess when this was gonna come out a month ago, for me, when I'm doing this a month ago, I had seen this. I've seen people get broken up and dumped in so many horrible ways, so shocking, so incompassionately. But the thing I keep getting for them again and again when I see them as clients and just like friends, like it actually is a gift. Like this here says it is a gift to kind of have gotten left by people who couldn't love you in the way you deserved. And it does feel so shitty. But you know what? You deserve so much better. And if these people couldn't be as vulnerable with you about how they were feeling, they couldn't accept your love as deeply as someone else could, and if they also couldn't love you for who you were, then really, like, it might have hurt, but like you really deserve better than that. And these people probably the thing that's funny with this is like this is the heart chakra colors, right? Like pink and green, and it just really tells me like although it's devastating and it's hurtful how it all happened, it's good that it did happen because you deserve something better than that. And you deserve, like, I feel like people who have more open hearts, right? Like these people seemed like it's like you could see their potential, but they couldn't let love in. They couldn't be loved. And what probably scared them was your ability to love them for their shadow and their light attributes. So like for their ugly things and their beautiful things about them. And I don't think they were in a place where they could accept that or handle that. And you just deserved something better than that. So although it was probably heartbreaking, because your heart energy seems pretty open, it was definitely a blessing. So we're probably going to do a romance reading for this pile too. Anyways, that's what we have for the 4 agreements for you. Maybe I'll put that there. Wait, I want the heart chakra one on top. There we go. Do you want this one? Love and respect yourself. Yeah. Cool. Sorry, I'm pausing. I'm like, what cards do we want for career now? Are they going to let me read career cards? I almost want to do a romance for this pile. I feel like there's such contending energies here. We'll do two of them for sure. But I feel like some of you are like, no, we want a romance first, not career. Wow, that's really confusing. Okay, you know what? We want to do them back. We'll do them at the same time? Sure, why not? So, future romance. For this pile 1, the next 30 days. Some of you have like a little freaking crush. You're so cute. Oh my goodness. That's why I think you're so excited about this. Okay. Guys are cute. Okay. I'm so distracted. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. Guys might need to ground yourselves. Getting all excited about these love readings. What's coming for this pile in the next 30 days? It's only the next 30 days, okay, guys? So, like, chill. It's a short reading. And for your career, because I literally feel like people are, like, equally wanting both. Okay, yeah, what's coming your way next 30 days in your career? Okay, we want that one, and that, sure, that one too, why not? Anything else I should pull here? You want one more, you want a mermaid card? We'll get you a mermaid card. Okay. I feel like I'm talking to myself, but I'm like hoping someone in this pile is like, you're right, I do want a mermaid card, because awesome. Then I'm not totally talking to myself. We're like distantly talking to each other or something weird. Okay, what does pile one need to know from the mermaid deck? Because apparently someone here really wants some mermaids. Okay, there you go. Totally ruining the system I had for this card reading. I was gonna do them all organized, but let's just throw cards everywhere. So, career, raise or promotion, focus on your priorities. Let me just, cards be everywhere. Okay, no more complaining. Look, quiet, retreat. What did I say, guys? You're totally, I feel like if there is a retreat card in a deck, you're gonna get it. That's like your vibe right now. Severe vows of poverty, have courage to ask and accept help. Interesting. So, I did get an impression, like, just when I was like, okay, what do you want? Romance or career? I was like, some of you are really worried about your finances right now. But when I see this sever the vows of poverty, you might be someone who just has that tendency to worry about finances. Like, I wonder if you got real honest with yourself, despite any financial situation you might have found yourself in. I wonder if you're always like, I know I'm always okay. Like, I just always will pull through and things will work out for me. Whether that's because you're just very good at taking action, or like you just know like you'll be okay, like this isn't going to be a challenge in your life financially. But I do feel like you stress about it still. I feel like you probably have more savings than most people, and yet I feel like you still worry about it. So I think that's why this card's coming through, where it's like kind of realize that, yeah, like this image, because this thing is like super weird. I don't know what you'd call that thing. A fairy, I want to say a nymph. I don't know what a nymph is, but maybe you do. I just feel like this is kind of you. I wonder if you can just do 100 billion different things, and that's even why, where it comes back to you're very like skillful, very ingenuitive. That's a word I'm getting for sure. Ingenuitive. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know. Pronounce words wrong all the time in English, and I spell them wrong all the time in English, so sorry about that. Yeah, also for some reason I keep thinking of birds of a flock fly together. Birds of a feather flock together. That's what it is. Some English expression again. Birds of a flock, yeah. I just think you're good. I don't know. That's like a weird thing to say. I feel like I don't even need to explain anymore. You know you're going to be okay because you are just capable of getting done whatever you need to get done. Maybe you even like working. I like working. I don't feel like it's that weird. Some people hate their jobs. Other people like their jobs, and some people just like working and find it's like a privilege to be able to work. So I just feel like I can see that happening to you. But let's actually just read this card because I think you might appreciate it. It says, congratulations, an increase in your abundance flow awaits you. This is a result of your positive focus and willingness to take action based on your divine guidance. Keep up the good work. So it's just saying like, your efforts are being seen and you're going to be okay. There is more finances coming in your way. So maybe you've been working overtime or picking up extra shifts, or maybe you literally are going to get a raise. But I feel like overall for some of you, it's like, you're going to be good. Like, come on, you're working a ton. you're good. You're fine. Stop worrying. It's kind of a funny thing to say to someone. And then you got more heart energy stuff coming in. I like that. You guys are just really having a heart focused thing. I don't know what came into your life, but I just feel like, well, maybe it's the romance, because some of you were like super freaking giddy about that. Like cute giddy, you know, where you're like, I got a little crush and I don't really want to have one, but I do. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I was getting. So I feel like my persona even changes when I like tune into that. That's so cute. Ugh, you guys are super cute. And if you're a man, sorry. You're a cute, loving man in the best of ways. I would actually, okay, I gotta take a side note here. I do feel like there's men watching this pile. So when I say cute, I'm not trying to demean you. I actually feel like it's a compliment, because it means like you're willing to be shockingly vulnerable, emotionally vulnerable in a way I wasn't anticipating. And that's what I usually mean when I say cute. I don't know what other women mean when they say it, but I usually am like shocked and surprised in such a pleasant way. Yeah. So please don't take that wrong. I really do mean it as like quite a high compliment, but I do know that it can be kind of triggering for people to say that word, because I think it's, I don't know, I feel like sometimes like it's used belittlingly, but I so don't mean it that way. I mean it as quite like the highest compliment. So anyways, back to your reading. Quiet retreats, look at that, nature, gardens, no more complaining. So this one kind of comes up when you're like, it comes up when you're already kind of feeling like you want to change your attitude around something, where you're like, I've noticed that I've really gotten into a habit of like not loving what I'm doing, or kind of talking more negative than I normally would like. And it's just kind of coming up to be like, yeah, you know what? Change your focus. Like, look, focus on your priorities. Like, instead of being focused on, like, say if you're working overtime because you're going to go on a trip, or because you're, you know, doing something, I don't know, say you're just working more, or work is just busier right now, you might, sorry, I just got so distracted there. Okay, sorry. Anyways, you might, gosh, some of you are really, really wanting this like love reading. I was like, oh, it just keeps pulling me totally out of my thought. We are gonna get to it. I was gonna say, look at these two doves, they're so cute, and then look at these two bunnies, they're like opposites, but they're like balanced. Anyways, so some of you are very focused on cute little, sorry, I'll use a different word, on crushes, on little crushes. That's awesome. Good for you. It's okay. I'm so torn out of what I was just saying. No more complaining. That's right. Yeah. Getting more grounded in yourself. That's like a big thing too. Like, so whenever I kind of just see like people with bare feet, bare feet on the ground, it's like in cards, if you're like, what are you talking about? There's like all these people don't have shoes on and they all got their feet on the ground, or in the clouds. Sometimes you can have your head in the clouds or your feet in the clouds or whatever. But you got to just get your feet back down on the ground. So if you struggle with like staying focused, usually it just means you're ungrounded. So what I would suggest is doing one of those breath works, because it puts you in your body, right? Like if you stop and actually like have to take like say 10 breaths, or you intentionally like visualize or picture or feel like breathing air down through your nose all the way to your belly or your diaphragm, and then exhaling it out your mouth. Do it once, it doesn't take a lot of your attention, but if you do it multiple times, like you eventually have to focus on what you're doing. And that gets you more embodied, it gets you more grounded. It also helps you relax a little bit. It gets you less out of your head. Or the other thing you can do is, if you have bare feet on the ground, just like close your eyes and like feel where your feet are on the ground. Feel how your big toe is touching the floor, the ball of your feet, the middle pad of your foot. Like just really feel into your feet on the ground, and that's actually super grounding too. If you're very, very ungrounded or distracted, though, I do find breath work is best, right? It literally cues the body to relax and calm down and know that it's safe. So that helps. But I feel like that's something you are working on, is getting more grounded. And then you can like hear yourself better. You can hear like your heart better, which is like something you're working on. And these fears, they don't really stand a chance when you're like really strong in yourself, right? It's like when you're ungrounded, fears can kind of slip in. I don't know, I say this a lot, so sorry if you've heard me say this before, but it's kind of like a tree. A tree that's really firmly rooted in the ground is really hard to knock over, right? Almost impossible. But if a tree's roots, there's only like a root hanging in, a strong wind comes and it blows it over. And that's kind of how I see people when they're grounded versus not grounded. Like you're either a very strong tree and like a fear can come up and you're like, it's okay. I know who I am. I know I got this. I know I'm like capable of tons of shit. It's not going to get to me. You can like easily like dismiss it because you realize and recognize that it's not a valid fear. It's just like a little, you know, like a little trauma fear coming up or a little scarcity mindset coming up that you can just easily blow away. But if you're really not grounded in your body, you're not really usually feeling very strong in yourself. You're not really feeling very confident. You're very distracted. You're worrying about 100 things. You're logicking things out. Logicking, that's like a dangerous game because often the logical answer isn't the answer we want. I don't know why I feel like funny saying that to you. Maybe it's because you don't like hearing it or you know it and you don't like that or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, so just get grounded and you'll be able to see these fears are just as what they are. They're just like little fears coming up. So have courage to ask for help. This is also interesting because I was like saying how I feel like that expression, birds of one feather flock together. There we go. I feel like I have to say it slowly to make sure I say it right. Gosh, you also want to say like vibrant. I feel like you're so vibrant. Like I keep seeing the peacock feathers here and it's like you're a very vibrant person. You're a very easygoing person. You're a very lovable person. Yeah. I feel like you help people get through shit too. That's just like another side note. But anyways, that being said, it feels like it's saying like you throw in love at other people and being kind or giving to them. Let people send some of that back to you. Don't do everything by yourself. Like don't always be support for other people, but not let people be support for you. Okay? Gotta let people in. You know what they say? Equal giving and receiving. That kind of shit. Yeah. I feel like you know all this. Let people know when you're struggling and let people support you. Okay? Okay. All right. Shall we look at these romance cards that someone really, you know what, I feel like your energy calmed down. I don't know, you needed to hear something, or maybe you got grounded. Did you do a breathing exercise as I was talking about it? If you did, good job, because your energy feels so different. Yay, good job. Keep doing that. You feel more grounded now. So let's actually do the mermaids first. Haha, I'm gonna make you wait for those love cards. Synchronicities, contemplation time, blessed change, and friendship. I like it when cards just keep revalidating things that I've said because, well, it's nice. Okay, synchronicities. So, first thing, dolphins. Dolphins are all about kind of like your people and just spending time with like the people who get you, those balanced relationships. And they're balanced because you let people support you and you let people in and you hold space for other people. I don't think you struggle at all with like the supporting other people. I think the struggle is in you letting other people support you. Like I feel like I see this dolphin like ducking under the other one, like, oh no, now it's my turn. It's my turn to be honest and vulnerable and being like, I don't like this, but I know I should do it. That's you right now, friends. You just do that, okay? You just work on that. You are working on that. Good job. A lot of communication energy coming through here too. What is that about? I don't know. I wonder if you can just have a lot of conversations you've been needing to have this month. I would say around with your friends. Yeah, because I know you guys are like excited about these love cards, but I actually do feel like this month has been really focused on your friendships. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it could be family, but I'm feeling friendships way stronger for this pile. I wouldn't be surprised if you're like a group of people where it's like you like the friends you choose are your family. Is that how people say that? Your friends are your family, your chosen family. There we go. English expressions struggling with today, for some reason. But yes, I wonder if you're having some more deeper, vulnerable conversations with them. Gosh, I feel like you're like showing people more of who you are. Like I just see this card as blessed change. It says like major change brings you great blessings. I feel like you're just letting yourself be goofier with them. More yourself. So that's awesome. I almost wonder, like, I don't know, maybe you like dancing around and being a little cheeky. That's kind of what I'm getting. Like you're just letting yourself be a little cheeky and playful, which I think people like. So good on you for being brave enough to show that. The other thing I keep looking at is this freaking parrot. I don't know why this parrot is catching my eye. You know what it's actually making me think of? A friend who just moved to Australia. It's always telling me about weird specific birds that I've never heard of. And I'm like, I think she sent me a picture of this bird. But my goodness. Let me Google this. I'm gonna find the name of this bird. Okay. I went through my friend's messages and I found the name of this bird. Rosella. I know it doesn't quite look like all of them, but it's just like I couldn't stop looking at this parrot-y thing, being like, it's not a parrot, it's whatever bird my friend just told me about, which is a Rosella. So I googled the meaning of it in general. I mean, maybe you like eastern Rosellas or northern Rosellas or friggin' southern something, or whatever like direction Rosella. Whatever. But anyways, the general meaning of a Rosella bird, because in case you don't know what I'm talking about, the bird is called a Rosella. It represents love, romance, beauty, grace, elegance, passion, and it is a symbol of self-acceptance and finding your true identity, which I really love because I feel like this contemplation time, wherever you're going, I feel like you are going to be thinking about some things, and it might be like career, romance, friendships, all that stuff. Yeah. Who do you want to be in this world? What do you want to experience? All this beautiful, beautiful things. Definitely coming through for you. Okay. Friendships. Make a date for a play date with one or more friends. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like you are going to spend more time with your friends lately, and maybe more than you have in a while, which is great. Feels lighthearted, feels very connecting. And I wonder, yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm like, why is this person looking at this person in the distance? Why is that happening? I wonder if there was like a little bit of time before this where you just like felt really distant from your friends, and you wanted to be closer or something. I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on that. I just see a person in the distance and someone like kind of longingly looking over there. You know what? I actually feel like this is an analogy about finding yourself. I don't know. You take it or leave it, right? General reading, as always. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all I really have to say about these cards. Other thing with synchronicities, if you've ever heard of like angel numbers, this is coming out a lot. So once again, sorry if you heard this in another pile, but there we go. You can't always pick it up with my short nails. Anyways, yeah, that doesn't matter. I try to keep my nails short. They're actually still too long for the things that I do, which is like annoying, but they're too short still to pick up cards off a table. So like they're just useless length right now. Doesn't work for anything. But anyways, synchronicities, angel numbers, when you see like those like repeating numbers, so like I would say like 11:11, or like if it's 12:12 o'clock, or if it's 4:44 or 5:55, or if it's 12:34, you know, you get my pattern here. It's like these fun numbers that are like just fun to look at. That is usually just a sign that you are exactly where you need to be in the world. So if you're like, am I doing enough? Am I behind in my life? Am I like where I should be right now? If you then turn and you see these freaking can't say the word, synchronistic, there we go, numbers, that is just like a really good validation from the world from whomever, that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. So stop beating yourself up about it, stop overthinking about it, and know that where you are right now is exactly where you're meant to be in the world. So if you're like, I'm running late, freaking out, and then you're like, oh, but it's 11:11. Never mind. I was meant to be a little bit late. It's okay. There's something else happening for me here. And this is exactly where we're supposed to be in the world. Okay. And every time you see it, you just put a little thank you out there so that you keep seeing them when you have those little panic moments. Okay. Shall we actually finally look at your romance cards that you were wanting? Okay. I feel like you're just more calm now. So good on you for getting more grounded. I'm going to say that again. Okay. Yeah, we're going to have to double row this. Okay. So stay optimistic about your love life. Passion. It is safe for you to love. Codependency. Make the effort. Keep an open mind, and you deserve love. So themes for the next 30 days. So what I like about this stay optimistic, I do feel like, just with like what themes were coming through at the start of this, that you might have struggled with, yeah, like just, I mean, even like this card here, it's like calling my attention again. People in past relationships with you not being able to receive love from you as deeply as you wanted to give it to them, and kind of, I think, rejecting you. You might have dated a lot of avoidant people, or runners, like runner energy. I could just see them like ghosting, not giving you the answers you're asking, answering questions with questions, you know, like kind of like annoying stuff, that's like frustrating when you're just trying to like clarify something. And yeah, I just feel like it's saying like stay optimistic that you're not going to keep finding people like that, especially with all this, like this trip, I don't know, this trip or this month. Sorry, I should just clarify that. I just really feel like you're releasing old toxic patterns. I don't think you're going to keep being attracted to these people that you have been in the past. Like, you don't want avoidant people. You don't want people who run away. And I do think there's someone in your life that you're kind of intrigued by. This doesn't mean they're going to be like your person forever, but I just feel like it's like saying like, don't be afraid to like open up your heart and like make the effort, and kind of go for it. You know, it doesn't matter if it's short term or a non short term thing. Just, yeah, don't let past behavior like ruin your future here, because I really do feel like look at the cards you have, like passion, it's safe for you to love, open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all, which is love. You deserve love, keep an open mind. Yeah, like I really feel like the advice here is like saying like you've changed so much, and maybe you've recognized that a little bit, but you really have, like, those old patterns that you were drawn to, those old personality types, or like little games people might have played that used to like kind of attract you, I think now don't attract you, and you almost, if anything, can see them as like red flags. But don't forget to see the green flags, right? Like so many times we can be like looking for the red flags so hard that we forget to see the green flags. I don't know. And like with this passion card, like, yeah. Wow, sorry. I just like really looked at that all of a sudden. That's a lot going on there. Anyways, I like how I get flustered in these. I was like, whoa, guys, simmer here. Staying on topic. Oh, so distracting. Okay, anyways, I can tell that there's somebody you're feeling a little excited about. And just don't catch yourself getting too worried about red flags in like, I mean, like, yes, obviously pay attention to them, but don't get so focused that you forget about the green flags. And the other thing I want to say is about the leaning in, which is funny. When I looked at this, I was like, that guy is leaning in hard. In this picture, I don't know if y'all can see this that well, but I don't know, that made me laugh so hard. He's leaning for sure. Okay, sorry, I've been talking so long, my camera battery just started dying, so quickly changed it, and we're back. Yeah, anyways, love that, leaning in hard. So if you haven't heard about that, like, what does it mean if someone's leaning into conversation versus leaning away? Like leaning in is like if someone, like if you ask someone a question that like involves like a little bit of vulnerability or authenticity to answer, are they leaning away? Like, are they saying things to kind of like diminish the question or avoid answering it? Or are they answering kind of as honest as they can? Like, hey, like, that's a great question. I don't actually know the answer. Like, that also is just vulnerable and honest, right? But if they're like, I don't know, why would you ask me that? Or, you know what I mean? Like that's the kind of stuff I think to really pay attention to for you all, and maybe you already do. That's just like a reminder. So leaning in would be like, yeah, answering the questions that you're asking, or when they're not understanding something, instead of like avoiding it or just like not talking to you or whatever, they just like address the issue. That would be like another great sign that they're leaning in. It's so funny. I'm like trying to think of other healthy things that people do, but I think that's the main thing. And it feels like a lot around communication for this pile, right? Yeah, I feel like just with this past partnership energy that you've had or been in previously with people, is I feel like they kind of leaned away a lot. Yeah, and I just keep feeling like you want something a little more intense and passionate and with more depth. Depth. There we go. Trying to pronounce that word, articulate that word well here. So yeah, it's safe for you to love. I really like that. You know what? This card, whenever it comes out, it always says like some of your wounds might be coming up right now, but this person, I mean, even if it doesn't like last long, might even be coming in to just like help clear through some shit, like codependency. I think this is just, I think it's saying like you have been codependent in your past relationships. You usually do see that when there's like a runner person in it, right? Like I feel like maybe you were a little more of an anxious attachment style or anxious avoidant attachment style. I do feel like probably the latter, the anxious attachment, the anxious, oh my gosh, avoidant attachment. You're a bit of both, where you get anxious first and then you get so anxious, you get tired of being anxious, you go into avoidant. I think that was your past pattern, just like kind of looking and tuning into the vibe around family here. And just like I feel like your importance of your friends might be because of family not having good emotional awareness or having healthy relationships or boundaries with you or communication with you, that I feel like it did kind of create a little bit of codependency in your relationship dynamics, where you might have tried to like overcompensate for people's what's the word, for people's lack in vulnerability. So I do feel like whoever this person is, this little crush you have going on here, I think you do have one. If you don't, you're gonna have one soon. But I think you all do. You all have like a little crush. Cute. I like it. Sorry. It just makes you so giddy when you tune into people's crush energy. It's just the cutest. Yeah, I think it's because it always feels like little butterflies and like people are all nervous and yeah, giddy. So, yeah, this person, no matter what they've come in for, I think they're just even teaching you that there is like safe people out there. So, like I said, even if it doesn't last forever, it really just feels like it's come in just to even give you some hope that, like, like there are better people out there and people who are able to match your depth and your honesty and your vulnerability. Um, and it just, you know what? Like, it's funny if you've never watched a card reading before. Like, they will never tell you a definite answer because you have free will and you can always choose to embrace something or not embrace something. But they'll just like give you enough details to make you excited. So, it is saying like it is worth making the effort in this. There is something here for you. That you'd benefit from, and keeping an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So this usually means that this person, I kind of get two meanings here, is that you might have really misjudged them. Like you might have looked at them and been like I want to say you might have thought they were really catty. Catty is a word that I'm getting for sure. Like gossipy maybe, or just like not having a lot of depth. Depth is a big thing for this pile. And I feel like I feel like you might have misjudged them at first. I think you've changed that a little bit, because you wouldn't have a crush on them, I think, if you hadn't. But it really just says, like, I wonder if, like, their outer impression actually doesn't totally reflect the beauty of the person they are inside. So yeah, I also just feel like there was like some stereotypes that you were like kind of putting them in or something like that. But something changed. I don't know. You just saw them differently all of a sudden, and you're like, holy shit. Well, where'd that come from? So, anyways, you deserve love. It's just like, whenever I see this card come through, it's like, take action. Like, what are you waiting for? Do you want it or do you not want it? Do you want to be giddy and oops and love it? um, or do you kind of just want to keep avoiding it? Like, just make the effort. You deserve it. You deserve it. This person deserves it. And you're going to be okay, because yeah, you know things now that you didn't before. Like, are they leaning in or are they leaning away? Clarifying communication, staying optimistic. Yeah. Oof, I always get so excited for you all. So cute. Okay. I kind of think this is all I'm going to have for this pile. It's kind of long. I think this probably did hit an hour. I have to pause it every 30 minutes so that my recording doesn't just stop randomly. So I think this might even be over an hour. I don't know. But thanks for hanging in there. Maybe you watched this like as a series. Like, did you watch each like section individually? I don't know. Maybe that's even why your energy changed so much with this love reading, is all of a sudden you were just totally different vibes. But maybe it's late now. Maybe you watched an episode for like morning, lunch, dinner. I don't know. I'm just guessing for fun here. You don't have to entertain my guesses. It's okay. Okay, well, anyways, thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you guys have a good one. You guys have some fun stuff coming up. Oh, I always get so excited for people in these things. Yep, it's fun. I love reading cards. Okay, so you guys don't shut people out. I know you're not going to. Stay optimistic. If you have someone in mind you're intrigued by, don't be scared to put a little effort in. Get a little vulnerable. Lean in. I kind of feel like this person's leaning in. Like, whoever, whether you're a man or a woman watching this, whatever the other person is, they're leaning in hard, guys. They're leaning in hard. So you can meet them where they're at, or you can I wanted to say drop them, but I don't think you're gonna do that. Okay, anyways, you guys have a good one, and maybe I'll catch you around in another video sometime. Hello, pile 2. So, you chose the Lapis Lazuli. Maybe you're drawn to this because it's supposed to represent helping you find clarity in your thoughts, and helping you, yeah, if you're just been feeling really scattered or really scatterbrained. So that might be one of the reasons why you're drawn to it. I will put it here. I guess we're going to slowly collect all the crystals for the pile selections in the top here. So here we go. So your general energy themes for the next 30 days or the next month. We have soulful appreciation, attachment, emotional desert, and past life guides. Ooh, this is kind of interesting. I use that word a lot, as you probably know. The thing that is really catching my eye over here, heartfelt gratitude. Like, I feel like it's like really changing your perspective on what is valuable and what you cherish in your life. Like, that's shifting. Like, here we have, like, here's all this gold and money and, like, I want to say gold, money, and glory for some reason on this one end. And then it's like, oh, but actually this thing over here is way more important to me. And it's changing. Like, you're figuring out what that is, what it is that is what should or what you want to have priority in your life. And I'm actually trying to ask right now what that is, but I think it really is saying, like, it's up for you to choose whatever brings you joy. Like, I feel like this butterfly is just being symbolic for you of whatever brings you fulfillment, whatever brings you passion, whatever like you're like, oh, I'm so excited to experience this. That's what belongs there. That's more important to you than these than money and glory. I don't know why I keep wanting to say glory. That's a weird thing to say. I wonder if you're like into something like a sport or something like that, that gets you attention or recognition, or putting your name on something. And you're like, you know what? I actually don't care about that anymore. I cared about it for so long, for such a long period in my life, but I just don't care anymore. So you take that or leave it as resonates. That's just the vibe I'm getting. Attachment, longing, and desperation. So an emotional desert, inactivity and isolation, karmic lessons and present assistance. So it seems like you're going to have a very contemplative time this month. Attachments. I actually feel like you're learning to like let go of things. So this is so closely linked to that whole like, I wonder if you have worked your whole life up to this point, however old you are, it doesn't really matter, or focused the majority of your time and life and energy right now, up until this point, around societal norms or goals. Like I feel like you're really realizing that you felt a bit like, I want to say chained or a slave to the system, or like, I don't know, I'm getting kind of like that kind of verbiage. Like it's like society told you this was important and you went after that, and you're here now and you're like, I don't have that much joy around this. Whatever fulfillment this was supposed to bring to me, it didn't bring it. It didn't get that from this. And I'm like, wondering where I should go now, or where I should go with this. And this is like the emotional desert. Inactivity and isolation is just saying you just need to be in a phase right now where it doesn't feel like you're moving much. It doesn't feel like you're getting that far or taking big actions. You're literally just in a stage where you're just processing shit. Processing things and like figuring out what your priorities are. So it's funny, emotional desert. I feel like it's actually saying you're just going into like an emotional time where you just need to sit and be and figure out what it is that you're wanting. And I think you're going to struggle with that because it seems like up until now you've done a lot of activity. You take a lot of action. You're like, maybe if you like recognize being in masculine or feminine energy, and that we all have it. We all have them both, right? We all have like more feminine energy and more masculine energy, and it's a duality of humans in all of us. And I feel like if you've maybe been very strongly in that masculine energy, no matter your gender, of like taking action, doing, forcing, pushing, shoving, going for things, pushing even through like exhaustion and all that stuff, just pushing yourself really hard. And you're kind of now going to come into this balance time where you just need to do inactivity. You need to just ask yourself what you want, where you want to go, what you want to experience. Sorry, I feel like my cats are deciding if they want to fight each other or if they're not going to fight each other. Ooh, tough to say. If you hear screaming from cats, it's just because one decided that they should fight each other. Oh, they're sitting down. Maybe we'll be good. They actually were pretty good in the last pile. They didn't disrupt that much, which is like, rare. So, past life guides, karmic lessons, and present assistance. Once again, this is like talking about like releasing anything that's been holding you back, anything that doesn't serve you, anything that you just don't want to experience anymore. So, this actually is like, it's a heavy month for you coming up ahead. I mean, you're probably feeling it. Like, I feel like you might feel stuck. That might be something you're struggling with, is feeling like you can't get where you want to get or get out of the place you are in right now. Yeah, I do feel like you're just like wishing for things that you don't feel you have in your life. So I feel like that's where this longing's coming from. Like wishing you maybe had, like, I don't know, maybe a different romantic relationship than you do, or a deeper friendships, or more of something, you know, like it's just kind of feeling like you're lacking something in your life that fulfills you. And I just feel like this is all happening because it needs to, so that you can get into a place where you are more happy and you are like realizing what you want from your life. It's a very contemplative time, as I was saying, very contemplative, which can feel really kind of gross, but like just stuck, stagnant, and like not super fun, like kind of just feels like a heavy time for you. But it, in the long term, is what gets you to focus your attention on aspects and areas in your life that you want to change and shift, and how to do that. So yes, inactivity is a big thing here. So we have leave the past behind, take a breather, and know your worth. New moon, last quarter. It's so interesting. So you have 2 last quarters. Yeah. So I actually like that you have the last quarter moon, because in my mind here, what I'm getting from this is that you really are letting go of old stuff. You're like in that phase where you're about to let it go, but you just need to really get rooted and grounded in what you want to bring in next, right? You need to be going into something to release that old thing. You can't just be in nowhere land, although you probably kind of feel like that. Yeah, so the guidance here is just like, you know what? Like, I feel like this know your worth, like know what you deserve to experience in life, and that if you want to experience more joy and passion or connection, like that is for you to experience. You deserve that. And just even writing down, I feel like that's a big thing. I feel like this pile needs to like physically put on paper what they're wanting to experience in life, and what they feel like they're lacking, that they want to have. And then, yeah, leave the past behind, take a breather, take a break. I feel like you've just been like pushing and pushing and pushing yourself. You're going to be forced. I don't know what happens. Maybe you get like an ankle injury. Maybe you have to go in for some kind of surgery. I feel like it'd be a minor surgery. I'm sorry if it's not, but I feel like there's something happening where it's forcing you to have to take a break and be stuck in this sort of like, you just got to sit here and you're going to have to figure out what you want to do with your life. Yeah, so some of you maybe even, I don't know if you would have gotten fired from your job. I feel like you're too hardworking to get fired, but I just feel like stress, something come up. Maybe you got high blood sugar, high blood pressure. Maybe you almost had a heart attack from stress or something, or you had a mental breakdown and you are being forced to be on a leave. I don't know. Something happened. And you're very much being forced to shift your perspective and change what's going on. Yeah, leave this past habits and way of life. So, oh, sorry guys. I feel like this is not like a fun era right now for you. It's like one of those bittersweet things where I can see like this is such an important time for you to go through an experience, so that you can make these changes that you're wanting, these things you want to experience. But it's like, it's coming because in such a forceful way that it probably feels a little bit gross. You might feel a little out of control. And I just feel like you feel so stuck. So I'm sorry about that. That's never a really nice thing to have to be forced into. Yeah. Okay. So that being said, I am kind of just asking what you want a reading on. I'm kind of wondering, I think you might be a little bit interested in career. I think you want to do health. So what are we going to do for health? We're going to pull from the healing cards. Or is this the daily healing oracle cards or something? I can't remember. But anyways, we're just going to ask for you, what do you need to know about your health right now? Pile 1 or 2, sorry. Pile 2. I'm so sorry. Getting a little distracted here. Okay, what do you need to know about your health? Pile 2 right now. And I'm also going to use some of these empath cards as well. I don't know, I just feel like it. So that's how I make my decisions in life. I just go off of what I feel like I should do. Okay, hang on here. They're slipping around. Gotta make a clear intention. So what does pile 2 need to hear right now about their health? Guidance and advice about their health. Okay, so put these over here. we have, these are kind of what I had for like guidance. Practice humility, assert your authentic needs, focus on gratitude, make peace with uncertainty. Whatever we were saying about, I feel like you feel very out of control right now, which is like probably very hard for you. Embrace your imperfection and retreat to the natural world. And I don't know if we'll have quite enough room, but we'll try to put these ones out too. It says power, blessings, forgiveness, signs, and divine guidance. Where do I put the card? Maybe we'll just squeeze it in here. So definitely right away what I'm seeing here is a lot of like foundations works. So calling back your power. So this actually makes so much sense. I feel like what am I trying to say here? I do feel like you feel a little bit powerless in your life right now. I think because you're in circumstances you can't control, which feel gross. I also feel like there is just such this energy that keeps coming through around feeling like you like maybe you felt like you had to go to university for a certain thing or do all these things in a specific way, and you're like, I just did everything I was told to do and I don't like it. And I feel like this is a time to call back your power and like orientate yourself in the direction you do want to go. Release all that like I have to, or I should have, or they want me to, and just really do whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. And the forgiveness card I feel like also comes through too. I feel like there is like a bit of like anger or frustration around, I don't know, like if your parents forced you into something, or someone. I feel like you felt so pressured by a specific person or two to be where you are now, and even maybe still they're pressuring you. And I just feel like it's saying like the first thing to move past this is to sort of forgive that, because it's like you're not doing it for their benefit, you're actually doing it for yours, to call back your power. Because it's almost like the energy that you're in is like saying like I have no choice, I can't control it. And it's like, well, at the time I didn't know I had a choice, is almost like the realization. I don't know, I just, hopefully this makes sense. I just feel like there's like a need to like forgive and let go and not hang on to the anger around having gone down this path and feeling like, I don't know, for some of you I feel like it's like it ruined your life or it wasn't your dream, stuff like that. So it just feels really heavy to be hanging on to. The other thing too is like divine guidance and signs are mirroring the same themes here. I feel like you are like really starting to follow your like the guidance you're getting. So I don't know, I feel like you're very, is that third eye based? I don't know, I was gonna say shock. No, yeah, no, I think it is like you're just seeing things. I think you're seeing signs. Maybe you're like clairvoyant. I actually feel like you could be very clairvoyant, and you're just getting ideas. And I want to say like you like starseed stuff or downloads or believing in like codes or something. Like, I don't know. It feels like you're very connected to the stars. You got two things here kind of showing that, and that you're feeling guided to go in a different direction and move into a different energy and a different thing. So I keep wanting to say reach for the stars. Like, just don't limit yourself right now. Just keep doing what you're doing. Okay, and the other thing I just want to say is I just suddenly got so exhausted. So I just wonder if you need to prioritize taking some sleep right now. You also wonder if there's just like a lot of releasing and clearing you need to do. So like literally physically, I wonder if this pile could benefit from doing some kind of detox or avoiding like excessive processed food or sugars or dairy right now. I just feel like you're just in like this like detoxing, purging, releasing cycle. Oh, my cat's freaking out. She's like seeing a mouse running, attacking it, like, sorry, a fake mouse, attacking it, running away, running back and attacking it right now all of a sudden. Yeah, I think you just really need to let your body rest and heal. And yeah, I keep saying detox, 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 because you're very exhausted. If you're so exhausted, um, you're having a hard time staying awake and alert, that is just a sign that you're releasing a lot of shit. So maybe doing some breath work and like intentionally like breathing in clean energy, exhaling stagnant energy that no longer serves you. Paying attention to your dreams. I think a lot of healing is happening in them. I even feel like some of you might be sleeping a lot because you are kind of reconnecting with your higher self in your sleep, getting like guidance and just recovering from some like wounds and injury and just all that stuff. But I also want to point out the blessings are here. So it's like, I really do feel like it keeps coming through that this is a hidden blessing in disguise. Like it feels so heavy and hard and gross right now, but it's like you're purging so that you can evolve. So that you can get out of this way of life. Like you're releasing all that no longer serves you. You might literally even be like cleaning up your house. Maybe you live with a hoarder. I don't know. It's like really specific, but I just feel like you can see stuff like that. Like getting rid of excess. Maybe you're donating some of the stuff that you have that you don't need if you do have like a lot of extra clutter in your house. And this just literally takes away some of that emotional heaviness that you have. So another example I'm getting right now is I wonder if some of you have like a box or a bin of like school books, textbooks, something that's weighing on you, and it's like, donate them. What is your burden is someone else's gift, you know? That's what I keep getting. So it's like you really are transforming energies in all ways, physically, emotionally, like it's a hard time for you. It is a hard time for you. You do need to rest a lot, I believe. Lots and lots and lots of rest. Retreat to the natural world. I just feel like, yes, connecting, meditating, connecting with nature, going on short little walks. I feel like these are going to be quite short. Maybe it's even like just sitting in a garden of yours or something like that. Or maybe you have like just a patio or a deck or a balcony, or you just sit out there and that's like all you have the energy for right now. That's okay. Just do that. Just take time to just be, and honor that you're healing right now. When I see this, embrace your imperfections. It says, release the idea that you must be without flaws. Humans are imperfect, messy, and also miraculous. Simply aim to be the best person possible. Yeah, I really feel this because I feel like you feel like a little broken right now. And it's like, it's okay. It's okay. Just meet yourself where you're at. Learn to listen to your needs. And I feel like I see this for yourself, like just in communication with yourself, about learning how to be like, okay, what do I need today so that I feel less tired or that I feel a little bit better. But also I feel like if you chose this pile, you might be married, or in a long-term partnership or something like that. I do feel like there's a significant other that's very present in your life, and it's like, learn how to explain to them what you need and what needs you're needing from them. And I just feel like there's like, yeah, a deeper connection that you're wanting to build there. So having more understanding between the two of you, a lot of healing. Oh, so much healing. I'm so sorry. This is very heavy for you. Very, very heavy for you right now. So make peace with uncertainty. It may take a while to find clarity about a situation. Be patient. Know that invisible healing forces are at work during this phase. So yeah, really want to reiterate that I just keep seeing that this is heavy. This is so gross feeling right now, and you feel so stuck and stagnant, but it's literally, you're feeling all this because you're ready to get rid of it. You are like literally, honestly, just like expelling so much old stuff and gross stuff out of you physically and energetically. And it's meant to happen so that you can get out of this. Like, we only notice all this ickiness when we are done with it, right? Because it has been there. I feel like this has been here for a while, but it's so in your awareness because you're done with it and you're ready to move past. That's the cat again. Yep, there she is. I don't know why she's going so crazy all of a sudden. Maybe you feel like stir crazy right now. That's kind of what she's all of a sudden doing. Practice humility. Approach life humbly. No one is better than another. Keep your ego in check. Humility is the practice of being simple and valuing simple things. I actually feel like this is because you might feel like you're not, like, I think you're doing this to yourself. Like, you're, how do I put it? Like, I think you're like comparing yourself to other people and putting yourself down. So it's almost like, don't put other people on such a pedestal or think they're so much better or compare them and all that, because you're both in just different places in your life right now and you have different circumstances you're going through and you're healing through different things. There's no need to compare. There's no competition. You're both just experiencing whatever you need to experience right now. And I think that'll just really help with judgment with yourself and like being more understanding about where you're at. Says, don't wait for a crisis to happen to be grateful for your life. Today, focus on what you have to be thankful for. So focusing on gratitude is like really learning to see the beautiful things in life. Like maybe you really, really love your couch. I don't know, it's super random. And maybe sometimes you just don't quite recognize that. Like you just sit on your couch, it's always there. But maybe it's like, maybe you could just even try feeling a little bit happy that you love your couch. It is so comfortable and you're so grateful and thankful to have that couch. Or, sorry, my throat got really dry all of a sudden. Or maybe there's just something about a certain food dish that you really like, that you get to eat this food or you can taste this food. Or yeah, just like, I feel like all those little examples, like sometimes we wait until something's gone to value it and appreciate it, and just really brings into your awareness that it's okay to appreciate things now, to have more gratitude now. I'm really feeling this card in my life. So yeah, it's actually really nice to feel super grateful for things. Yeah. Okay. You know what? I think I'm going to move on from this one here. And we're going to pull some more cards for a different thing. Yeah. Okay. I actually want to pull these cards here. Yeah. Just, you know what? I'm going to go a little rogue on this one. I'm just going to ask, what guidance is there for you right now? What guidance? I think that this is kind of more towards yourself and your relationship with yourself, because that's really, I think, what you're learning to change right now. So pile 2, what is guidance for them around their own relationship with themselves? Yes, we want that one. We want that one. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so it says, turn on your heart light. You have forgiveness again. Be in the present and dream of the future. Do something for someone. Aw, and this little rabbit reaching out gently to a deer. Give your attention to another. Treasure your loved ones, practice compassion, and the only thing that is real is love. So isn't it interesting? Forgiveness and compassion coming out multiple times, turning on your heart light. Reflect on a time when you experienced love. So there is just a lot going on here. Oh, it's just like I can feel how much you like are struggling. So it's like, I know this is asking big things when things feel so heavy and low. But it's saying, just like as heavy as it is, as frustrating as it is, you really, really are being called to learn to listen to what your heart wants and to follow that, to get out of this sort of like energy that you're in of like following the social norms, following the money and the glory. I keep saying that, and going to that passion and like what you actually want to experience in life and what actually makes you feel a heartfelt gratitude, what makes you excited and happy to be alive. Like why do you want to wake up every day? What do you want to experience? And just like following that. So really, really learning to connect with that heart center again. Really, you were not told to follow that when you were following this other world, this like money world. It was actively teaching you to not listen to your heart. So really, you're going and doing a 180. That's why this is so hard. And then once again, we have forgiveness. Nothing is gained by holding on to past disappointments. So I definitely keep getting a lot of I wish, I should have, woulda, could have kind of energy. And it's like you can't control the past, but you can control what you choose to do with the knowledge you've gained from those past regrets and actions. So this is really like release what has been, and now take that knowledge and wisdom and make sure that you aren't making future regrets. That's like the only thing you can really do, right? Is change in the now, change your future, change the roadmap you're headed towards. Flip the page and go into a different street or something. That's what you have control over, instead of like getting stuck or caught in the like focusing so much on what you should have done. Just be in the present, like it says here. Just be right now in the moment and be like, how can I make sure that I'm acting in a way that's aligned with the person I want to be or I am trying to become. Yeah, and this is even why I think there's some contemplative time, because I think you need to even really ask yourself, what would that look like? If I want to be this type of person, what would my actions look like? What would they feel like when interacting with others? Like just really thinking about that. And then do something for someone else. Yeah, I really do feel like there is like a want for closer relationships and valuing people. And I do feel like with this gentle energy, I think you want to bring more gentleness into your relationships. So maybe you felt like you've been maybe a little more standoffish, or people have been a little more standoffish with you. And I just feel like you're like, I'm tired of this. I want people to see my gentler side. I want people to see me. And I want to have these connections, like where you look at someone and they authentically share with you and you do the same back. So that's what I see, is a lot of gentleness coming in. And then treasure your loved ones. It is interesting how these are all kind of themed around the same thing, right? Like, I think you do just want them to know how much you love them. So what could be a really good exercise for this pile, if you're open to it. Look, that they mean the world to you. There's literally the world dropping into your hands. Maybe if you're having a hard time sharing with people, maybe you just start with like writing things out, things that you want people to know about them that you feel. Does that make sense? So maybe you want to tell someone how much you love them, but you've been too nervous to. It'd be great for you to maybe write out all the things you want to say, or you could leave a voice memo or a voice mail. Like if it's too hard to have that conversation directly with them, and they're also in a place where they don't feel emotionally quite safe to receive that, then giving them like the space and the distance to do that is actually quite kind and considerate. So like leaving a voice memo, they can get back to you whenever they need to. There's no pressure there. And that's the one thing. You got to make sure you leave no pressure for them to have to respond to it. You're doing it because it's important to you, to have them know how much you appreciate them. So yeah, sometimes people might not give an answer because they're just like not feeling vulnerable, like feeling safe to be vulnerable. And it's not a you thing, it's a them thing, right? So just let go of anything around that expectation. But that might be a good idea for this pile. Practice compassion. See things from a fresh perspective. So funny enough, I feel like every time I say something, it kind of leans into the next card that I'm looking at. I really do feel like realize that if someone isn't like sharing back with you, like understand this does have nothing to do with you, and it's just them trying to process their own emotions. And like a lot of people can't accept compliments and love from other people. Like they don't feel like they're worthy of it. So if you ever feel like someone is like rejecting that, they're not rejecting you. They're essentially struggling with the fact that they don't feel lovable and they don't feel worthy of what you're saying to them. So it's not about you. So when it says practice compassion, it's just see that some people struggle with accepting love. And if you're being vulnerable, and I feel like you've even struggled with accepting love, understand that others are struggling with that too, and don't take it personally. Also, I see like a piece of agate here. I don't know if agate's important to someone. Last one here, it says, the only thing that is real is love. Shift your focus back to love. Yeah. So this is like, once again, I feel like if you're feeling triggered by people or by this relationship, whether or not like where you're not getting a response in a way that you kind of feel you need, it's just like, remember, this is not about you. They have their own woundings from when they were younger, from their family systems, and they are also a hurt person healing. And they might just need time and support. That being said, you know, you also need to make sure your needs are being met. But I just feel like they're saying, like, I think whoever you're trying to reach out to has a lot of things they're struggling with, and really do not take it personally. The only thing that's real is love. Like, love is everywhere, but we all have a hard time accepting it. A very hard time accepting it. Yeah, I'm so sorry, pile number 2. You really are struggling with some things, and you know, I have been in this kind of energy in my life, and it doesn't feel like it's ever going to end, but this is going to end. This will end. You are going through it because you're ready to release it. So you are literally, like, I want to say, like, purging, releasing so many things, okay? So many things, and that's why it feels so heavy, because it's going out of your energy field, which is for the best ultimately, but it is such a challenging time. So just honor yourself and don't push yourself too hard right now, because you do just need kindness and compassion from yourself and others, okay? I think I am going to end this reading here. I really just hope that you take care of yourself, and you go easy on yourself and learn to forgive yourself for things of the past. Leave the past behind, as it says. You're just doing so much heart healing right now, okay? I just wish you the best of luck, and I hope you find your joy. Hello, pile 3. So I am just doing this the next day here. That's my cat scratching some wood. Really getting into it, actually. Her face right now, I wish you could see it. Okay, she's done. Okay, anyways, yeah, it's the next day. I didn't quite have enough time to record this before I had to go and do a few clients, so by the time I got back, it was super late. So anyways, figured it'd be better to do it the next day here. And you know what? I don't know if this is going to be significant for you all. I mean, I feel like your energy actually in your cards is so different from the other piles. Yours actually feels more like a moon reading. So you might most likely find this reading close to full moon or new moon, or if you're just really working with the moon phases, so maybe you're like literally like looking up last quarter moons, or like waning gibbous 4 or something. I just feel like you're really intentionally trying to work with the moon, and you probably chose this pile. Yeah, I also just want to point out with this tourmaline, you might have been drawn to it because it literally talks about the stone being a very good at absorbing negative energy without compromising its own energy. And I think that's what you're trying to do. So you might be like, oh, now my cat's got the zoomies. So cute. Sorry, I just feel like sometimes, you know, cats just like, they're just calm, they're chill, and then like they just stop, they look at you, make eye contact for a second, and then it's like, bam, they jump like straight up in the air and they zoom around, and you're like, that is so random. Oh, I thought she's running back up. Oh, she's gonna start yelling now. Yeah. She's very excited all of a sudden. Cool. She was very chill. I was like, this is going to be a good time for card reading, because all the cats are super chill. As soon as I start card readings, though, one of them starts freaking out. So sorry about that. Anyways, what was I saying here? I feel like you might be into the healing modalities. I don't know. When I was thinking of this pile, when I first pulled it, I didn't think anything of it. But then today, when I was just tuning into the energy a little bit of this, I was like, ooh, I feel like whatever you're going through, whenever you're seeing this, at any point, I think you're going through similar lessons and stages that I am right now, which is always interesting. Sometimes I don't like doing pick a cards if they are mirroring too much of what I'm experiencing, just because I feel like my own ego can get into it. But you know, I just get the same vibe. We're in a similar energy, doing a similar thing right now. Like I said, you could be watching this in like 2 years, 5 years. Just trust. that you're seeing this when you see it. The other thing too I wanted to mention is like I sat down, let's see, like 4 hours ago to start this, and then all of a sudden I just got really into listening to music. I just couldn't stop. I wanted to dance around, kept listening to it. I was like, okay, after this song, like I'm gonna record this last pile. Like I actually have a lot of things to do today and I don't want to procrastinate. And I was like, I can't stop. This music is just really hitting me in the soul. Like really, I'm really feeling it. I just need to keep vibing with it. And then eventually, finally, my headphones died. And I was like, thank you, universe, because I couldn't put this music down. I don't know what was going on there. So I wonder if you're experiencing that right now. Like if you just can't get enough of those songs that you really feel in your soul, which is good. Just express that and maybe just dance around and feel out those emotions. And that might be how you're clearing your own energy, because I feel like this is a big release time for you, where you're releasing, I feel like, different layers within yourself. But I do feel like for this pile, like I think you're also doing it for other people, which is why it's like such a focus on making sure you're clearing yourself and taking care of yourself and not taking on other people's stuff. Yeah, definitely strong like healer, light worker vibes from this pile. And if you hear people say that and you're like, what does that actually mean? It just means someone who probably works in the service industry of some sort, where there's one-on-one interactions with people, where you're offering emotional support of some sort. So don't feel like it has to be like, I don't know, like you could be a hairdresser where you literally are just there, you're providing a service, but then you're also providing a secondary service where you're an emotional support for people because they're kind of venting to you. But I feel like I can also see people like, I want to say like the car industry. I know it's so random, but I don't know, maybe someone here is in that industry. And I feel like you end up just getting a lot of people sitting down and then like talking about their lives and what they're struggling with. I think you're those people. So I don't feel like your job specifically is like a therapist. Could be. I feel like it's more like you have a service you offer people, and then your secondary service is just you being you and being like a really good emotional support, compassionate person. I think you're extremely compassionate, pile 3. Extremely. I keep like, and like the reason why people feel so comfortable to share with you is because you are so compassionate. And I think you're pretty good at holding space for people to say what they need to say, and they feel really seen and heard by you. So I really feel like you are the embodiment of this crystal. I think that is honestly why you were drawn to this. This feels so aligned with who you are right now. Yeah. So I feel like you most likely went through a hardship right now yourself, that you are able to meet people in their very low places. So what does that mean? You could have had a heartbreak, you could have lost a job, could have lost a loved one. Definitely feel like it's triggered by a loss or a grieving of something. And then it's just like really opened your eyes to being like, I haven't checked in with other people. Other people go through these same things as I'm going through right now. And I need to make sure I'm just like making myself available. I don't know. Does that make sense? I almost feel like it's like I feel like you were distracted by something, and then when that thing was gone, you're now back to being this person you are. I think you've probably been like this on and off in your life. Sometimes maybe you've just gotten too busy that you've kind of forgot. I don't know. You always were compassionate, but I feel like you're just too distracted and busy to really like give extra attention to people. But you're not. You're doing that now. Sorry, my cat is literally yelling. So, maybe you can hear that. Maybe you can't. She's like down two floors, just screaming. That's what she does when she wants me to walk her outside. Yeah, she goes downstairs and screams like a child, of course. Oh no, she only ran up one flare. There you go. I'm sure you can hear that. She's getting higher vocal ranges now. Okay. So anyways, you might have a lot of people who's struggling around you, literally screaming, maybe literally screaming in your face. I don't know. that is the message for you. But the general energy of this upcoming month for you, look at this. We have up from the depths, releasing difficulty, tapping the forces within, sensitivity and strength, abundance and success, and freedom, moving on and letting go. So we also have stay up and lead, stand up, step up. Why am I saying all the wrong words? Step up and lead, go wild and go deeper. So I feel like your cards are actually just confirming. So if you've been going through a tricky emotional time where I don't know, especially when I see the sensitivity and strength, I feel like you're grieving something. I don't know. I feel like for this group, it could literally be the loss of someone. Maybe you like lost a parent. I do feel like it would be a parent, like someone who was older. Or I feel like there is a heartbreak or a friendship ending, something of the sort. But it's like it's saying through this grief. I think it probably wasn't super recent, enough time for you to have processed some of it, because I see it's saying you're kind of coming out of that deep grief where you're very introverted. Everything is happening within and it just needs to, and you're kind of a little bit away from the world because you need to take time to process your emotions and feel out your struggles. It's even ironic that my cat is like 3 stories down screaming her head off right now. Like I feel like that is like your inner child down there screaming at you, and you've just been having to deal with it. And because you are dealing with it, things are getting easier and things are clearing and healing for you. Releasing difficulty, yeah. So I feel like you've really had to go to like the deepest parts of you and really heal what has come up in that, if that makes sense. So yeah, I feel like you've probably been in some heavy emotional states, pile 3, but it is getting better. This month is literally saying like you're starting to see the brighter side. You're starting to see the sun. The light is hitting you now. You've felt through the deepest, darkest depths of yourself, so that you can now have space for more of this lightness, this love. Like, and even if you see like she's walking out of chaotic waters, like just stormy, torrential waters. I don't know. So this card is very, very reassuring that things are getting easier. And I even feel like basements. I don't know why. Maybe some of you literally have been hiding in a basement or something like that. I don't know if it means like literally or figuratively, but my cat is like in the basement screaming. I keep thinking of a basement. It's like you're getting out of this dark place and you're going to the light. So I wonder if you've even like, maybe you've been hanging out in like a dark room a lot lately instead of like hanging out in a room that has a lot of natural light coming in and feels like lighter. I don't know. You take it or leave it how it makes sense. But I feel like now you're starting to realize you want to be outside more. You want the sun on your skin more. Yeah, I just feel like all senses are getting lighter. Whenever I see this card come through, I love it because I always get the message of like your path is getting easier and lighter. Like, look, it's like Wizard of Oz, Yellow Brick Road. I think every time I see this card, and what I keep noticing specifically for you all is that there's no obstacles on this path. It's very clear, it's very wide, and it looks like the further you walk, the lighter and more magical things get. I also can't help but notice all these lotuses, which, the lotus represents like enlightenment, waking up in your life and coming through, like they come through from mud, but somehow they're not tarnished by the mud, right? They're not stained, they're not broken. They're these beautiful things that somehow emerge from the darkest, dirtiest waters and are beautiful. So anyways, that's why I like lotuses or lilies, is they're almost like an oddity, something that humans wouldn't think could exist, but do. And I think that's really symbolic of who you are. Pile 3 is people who most people wouldn't understand how you've come from such difficulties and challenges and emerged lighter and more beautiful and more loving. And I really think that's like a theme that's going to be coming through here, is I feel like this pile, I feel like letting go and moving on. I think you are literally learning not to hold back anything that needs to be said, freeing yourself and freeing others by default. Like there's so much little butterflies. Like I feel like you're just being so guided by the most loving energy right now. You might love working with angelics. I don't know. I just feel like I'm like, no, I feel like it's an energy of just absolute joy and love, which might seem hard for you to see that, because I think you have felt so heavy, but I just feel like from you working on yourself, you're like this magical person now in the world. Like you literally, your energy is just, how do I explain it? Like you just being around people is going to heal them, is going to change them, because within your energy, you have this like learned lesson of it's okay to not be okay and to be just so horribly devastated. I'm still going to be okay. And there still is beauty in this world, and there's still love in this world. And I feel like that is what you radiate in your energy when I see this castle and these butterflies and all this glimmer and this. There's so much love and transformation that just literally vibrates off of you. So yeah, you just being you. And I think you're learning, like it says here, to go deeper, to step up and lead. I think you are really leading through your actions and your words right now. You're still healing a lot. I am going to say that. I do see that you're still healing. Like you're not on the top floor yet. You're just coming out of the depths. But if you can already see within yourself the transformations of your relationships, of how you see the world, of how you prioritize things, it's just going to keep growing. Like everything is so attached to the heart here. Like I feel like this is like, you might have caged your heart. You might have caged the amount of love you thought you could put in the world, or could allow in, or could give to people. And I feel like you're done with that now. I really do feel like you're like uncaged. I love it. Nothing can hold you back anymore. Yeah. Yeah, it's very beautiful. Okay, so step up and lead. So I do want to talk a little bit more about this. It does feel very correlated with this go wild card with the Leo, where I feel like it's like go bravely in this world and be that passionate, loving force. Like, how do I put it? Like if you're like, I don't think you're even worried about this. I feel like your energy's changed so much. I think before you worried about being too sensitive with people or being too emotional around people, but I feel like you're just, whatever has happened, you're like, what have I been wasting my time worrying about this about? Does that make sense? Why have I wasted my life worrying about how people are going to perceive what I'm saying or emotions or anything like that? You're just done. It's just all wastes of time and energy. And it's like, even though it can still be uncomfortable for you, I think it's just encouraging you to keep doing that, to keep maybe having hard conversations with people, whether it's because you have to be vulnerable about what your needs are, or maybe it's because you just are going to be vulnerable about things that you love them, like things that you love about them. And it's like hard because, maybe in the past people have taken away what you've been honest about loving. I'm not sure. But I just get like, just keep radiating that love, that bold, brave, courageous, loving energy, heart energy that you're coming at the world with, and communicating through the world with. Like it's very clear here. It's like you're taking very courageous steps and like admitting it into your life and the places around you. Like I feel like your life has literally transformed and will keep transforming, because with the amount of love I feel like that you are like now realizing you want to put in the world, or want to express to the world, or the state of love you just want to be in the world, you're going to bring out very different things in people that you used to know. So maybe some people who had a more blocked heart space, or who had like more closed off energy, I just feel like you even being around them in such a different energy, like I feel like they're going to try to mirror what you are mirroring. They're not going to be like, people are only going to be able to do as much as they can, and they have to do their own work and feel through their own emotions, kind of like you did, to get there. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, because it's not going to exist within you, to be guarded anymore, you're not going to trigger that as much in others. So it doesn't mean that it won't exist in them, but when they're talking with you, because you no longer emitting that energy yourself, I really think that your interactions are going to be so different with people. And that also being said, if you're talking with people and they're like, I don't know how you get this out of people, I don't understand how people are like this way with you, just know it is because of the energy you're emitting in the world. You literally have gone through it and you've released it within yourself so that it no longer exists. So then therefore it cannot come out towards you. Does that make sense? Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to, I think it's going to be a big shift there, but basically if people can't meet you where you're at, or match that level of vulnerability, they literally won't be able to be attracted to you. They won't be able to handle you. You guys just won't even really interact, and that's okay. So step up and lead just really is reinforcing, and be the first one. Be the first one to do it, and others will follow, because it takes someone like yourself who's courageous and brave and vulnerable to start the shift. So, yeah. Good on you. It's big things. And then Scorpios, just keep furthering and embracing in those emotions and communicating them. I just really get to that your communication heals things right now. So if you've been having deeper conversations with people and you're like, oh, am I doing this for myself? Am I doing it for them? Who is this serving? I think it's both ways. I think it heals you and it heals them. I feel like it's very healing for other people. And your word, they keep saying that your words and your voice is super, super healing, and is really changing things and clearing things for people. So don't undermine the power of your words and the things you say. So I don't know. I'm just thinking like maybe you've said sorry on behalf of other people. Maybe you've been, I think that is it. I almost wonder if you, if people are venting to you and then you're like, I'm so sorry that happened. I'm so sorry. That must have been like so hard. And you must have really struggled with that. I don't know. I just feel like it's just like when you say stuff like that, it is healing that a bit. I know, I'm pretty sure you're not the cause of people's pain that you're having these conversations with, just because it feels like these are like third-party people that you just like encounter occasionally. They're not like you're in your day-to-day life, but it is like saying that the words you speak do heal. The words you speak do heal. It's a very, very big theme for you. Okay. So that being said, I kind of want to just look at guidance cards for you about how you can support yourself, because I feel very clearly, it's very clear what you're doing right now for other people. But yeah. Oh gosh, 1 second here. Just getting a phone call. Okay, sorry. I'm back. I guess it was like a second for you. So anyways, guidance for you, pile 3. Now you can support yourself right now. So this reading is probably going to be a little bit different than I had intended, but that's okay. Whatever you need to hear. Your guides know. Oh, that is way too many. I was like, this is like 7 cards. Okay. We want that one, and that one, and I guess, do we want this one? Sure, look at that. You are a powerful light worker. We do want this one. Sometimes this card usually comes through for me in case you're not believing me. When I'm saying like you really are like this beautiful person who brings more light on this planet. And if you look at this, look at the colors that are like similar. Like these are the same, totally different decks, different eras, new cards, like 30-year-old cards, but the colors are the same. So maybe I'll just take a second here to be like, hey guys, man, woman, folk, people of this pile, no matter your gender or orientation or whatever, you're not hearing me when I say you are really amazing people. You literally make the world brighter and lighter. And look at this person in this card. They're just so focused on being like, how much more love can I put into this world? Is this enough? Am I doing enough? Okay, I'll just put a little bit more in. That is you. And it's like, look, You can't even see how much love you've poured out around you. You've just literally dumped love all over the place for people to feel, and you're just still focused on your hands being like, did I put enough love out there yet? I don't know. I still don't know. I'll put more. Like, it's just, you are very, very loving people, and people feel that. And unfortunately, I think you're probably around a lot of people who emotionally aren't in places where they can give you that feedback and that validation and that confirmation that you need, that you are creating differences in their life that are very positive. You make them feel very, very seen. You make them feel loved, understood, and most importantly, you make them feel accepted and not judged. Are you hearing me? You make people feel very, very accepted. And like that, I think, is when I feel your energy, is what makes people heal. They don't feel accepted. They don't feel lovable or seen in their lives. And you, little beautiful people, do that for so many people. You literally just admit this accepting, loving energy. And that is what the world needs. And that is what you are doing. And you do a lot of, okay? So look at that. You literally have ascended masters. So I even just think, like, how you even are able to sort of admit this compassion and loving energy. I just feel like there's so many like ascended masters that are aligned with you. Like, I wouldn't be surprised, like, if you've looked into Reiki, you might not actually be Reiki certified, but you'll just say, like, I just feel like I feel energy coming off my hands, or I feel loving energy come out of my hands. Definitely. I feel like there's just like a plethora of ascended masters that work with you, and they help. I almost feel like I can almost see them putting their hands on your shoulders and helping you admit more of this loving energy, because it isn't just your energy. It's like energy that comes in down from like this higher source and out, which is good, because if we're using our own energy, we deplete ourselves. So yes. So here, look at this. We have clear yourself. Ask the angels to release any toxic energies that you may have absorbed. This does feel very important for you, okay? Because I just, with this level of clearing and healing and loving that you're doing, we don't want you accidentally taking on any of it, because I do feel like you really can go to the depths of people's pain with them. You can really do that. And you know what's so interesting is, remember I said I just sat down for this pile, and for 4 hours I couldn't stop listening to music and felt like I had to dance around. And as I was dancing, I kept thinking, like, I gotta release anything in my body that is not mine, or that is not serving me, any blocks. I'm like dancing it out. I'm shaking it out of me. And I think that's something that you might really need to do. I think you also could sage yourself. I do feel like saging feels really good for this pile, with the intention that you clear away anything that is not of love and light and the highest good of you, and just sage yourself. And then I feel like do a little dance action. Yeah, whatever songs you're really feeling. And it just, yeah, I really think that's part of your self-care routine. And it... Also, I'm so drawn to Lapis Lazuli for you all too, by the way. I don't know, I was just looking at that. Maybe you should consider working with that if you've had thoughts about that. Lapis Lazuli. You know what I'm thinking of, like, why I'm like, I think it will help you see what is yours and what is not. Specifically, it will help you see that. So if you do have just like a piece, I can see you like just hanging on to it and being like, I release anything that's not mine. And I know Lapis Lazuli isn't actually supposed to be for clearing blockages. That's more the Tourmaline. But I just feel like it's gonna help you be like, oh, this wasn't mine, this is theirs, and this isn't my worry, this is their worry. And it's just, that's why it's going to be easier for you to like essentially cast it out, because you'll see so clearly it's not yours. Just a suggestion, never have to take anything literally, of course. Listen to your intuitive feelings. Your body is receiving accurate messages from the divine. So I actually get this so strongly for like if you are having these random conversations with people and you're like, I just think I need to say this. But then if there's a little bit of fear that comes up and is like, yo, this is too weird. I don't know them well enough. I feel like this is saying like, do you feel like it's in their highest good or it would be of service to share this message with them? And if the answer is yes, then follow that. If it's like no, then it's a no. But trust your intuitive feelings. So yeah. And I also just keep getting like always come at things compassionately and with gentleness, gentle heart energy. I think you do, but it's just like roses are such a big theme for this pile. And I mean, roses make me think a lot about like, water lilies in the sense that like they're like both beautiful, but then they also have like these thorns. So like they're sharp and they are kind of dangerous, but they're also very beautiful. They're like duality, right? So it's almost like just trusting your intuitive feelings about like when it is right for you to have conversations with people, and then also knowing when these people will not be able to receive that, or it wouldn't be right for them to receive that. So it could even look like asking people permission to share something, or asking them if they're comfortable with you talking about a certain thing. And if they say no, just compassionately saying, okay, thank you for being honest with me. We don't have to talk about this. Yeah, which I think you already do, but it's just coming up as a reminder. So maybe it's because I feel like this pile can doubt themselves. It might still be like your greatest battle is doubt. Yeah, because here we have, if you get nervous, focus on service. And I do really feel like that's that thing again where I think you just don't see all these beautiful things that you do and are, and you can just wonder if it's enough or doing it in the right way and all those like silly things. And it's like when you find yourself there, it says, put your entire intention on answering the question, how can I make the world a better place? And the law of attraction will automatically take care of your needs. I love that because then you also got the law of attraction card, guys. Super cool. So literally saying, if you're starting to freak out, I don't know if I'm ready, just take, I think, a few deep breaths. So down through the nose, breathe in, down through the nose, all the way to your diaphragm or your belly. Exhale out your mouth. Do it a couple more times because if you're nervous, it's going to take a couple times to calm down that nervous system, and then just get grounded in yourself again. Because when you breathe, you get more grounded, rooted in yourself. So you can be like, okay, like, who do I want to be in this world right now? And how can I be the best person I can be in this world? That's kind of how I see it. It recenters you and who you want to be and who you know you are. And that fear, that little nervous inner child that's coming up that's like, you'll just have to you'll calm down and be like, it's okay. You're safe. We're good. We're strong in who we are. We know what we want to do in this world, and we aren't going to let fear stop us. Okay. Also, look at this, Archangel Raphael, the healing angels with you, supporting your healing work. So you got like 2 cards here saying like, you're actually not alone. Like you're very much surrounded by other healers because your energy is so beautiful, pile 3, that healing energies and angels and entities and masters and whatever you want to call them are literally working with you because you are so aligned with them. Your goals for this world are directly aligned with so many. So you're not alone. It is not you who is actually alone healing everyone. It is the energy that you're transmuting, the energy that you're putting into the world that heals them, that gives them the opportunity to take or leave. So don't put so much responsibility on it being you. I feel like there's so many people helping you just emit this beautiful energy. So it doesn't deplete you. So law of attraction, relationships and activities that you once enjoyed are now changing as you become more sensitive and aware of energies. So what I'm thinking about with this card is, how we were just talking about how you like dancing. I don't know, maybe you used to like going to like pubs or clubs or somewhere. I feel like there's other activities where you were doing things that you liked, like maybe dancing. But now the energies there don't align with you. Like everyone else there is in their shadow. They're in their nasty, nucky, yucky stuff. And maybe you need to look at if there's a different way you can still do that thing that you want to do that makes you feel good, but in a different space with different people. So maybe you're going to go to a dance class where people are doing a static dance. Maybe you're going to not sing at a church anymore and you're going to sing in your home or sing with some friends in a meditation sound bath. I don't know. Just giving random examples I can think of. But I do feel like it's like your way of like, it feels like it's attached to how you were like getting a need met, like clearing your energy, like dancing, singing, just seems to be one that's coming through for me for you. Um, uh, Not stopping it, but just finding a place that actually can be healthier for you to do that. And books. Your life purpose involves writing, reading, editing, or selling spiritual based books. So I actually feel like this is just saying, I mean, maybe literally even thinking about writing a book, always take that as a confirmation if you are doing that and this card comes out. But often when I see this card, I feel like it's just higher learning. You're learning more and more. Your mind is a little sponge right now. The things you're reading, seeing, listening to are all influencing you. So I feel like there's a little bit of message here. It's like, be mindful of what you're listening to. Be mindful of what you are reading and intaking, because you are growing through it and you are absorbing it. So yeah, if you've been wanting to read more books that just remind you how to be like more emotionally, I don't know, present. I don't know. I'm self-help book. I don't know. One that I'm trying to give a specific answer, but my mind is blank. So then that's a great thing. If you want to embody more of those qualities, then listen, intake, read something that embodies more of the qualities that you're wanting, and not the things that you're not wanting to mirror. So yeah. Okay. Let's pull like a for agreement card. I feel like you have some agreements. For someone to go through all this, you usually have to make agreements with yourself about who you want to be in the world, or what you want to do in this world, or how you want to leave this world, whatever it is. Usually it comes from a personal agreement to be in the energy that you're in. So let's see. You get one. I don't know. Do we want this one? It says stay in the present moment. Do your best. Sure, we'll read it. Keep your attention on today and stay in the present moment. This is the beginning of a new understanding, a new dream. Okay, so don't get too caught up in the far future or in the past. Just think about right now. Okay, anything else for pile 3 here? Assume nothing. And it says on the back, in any kind of relationship, we can make the assumption that others know what we think, and we don't have to say what we want. We assume they are going to do what we want because they know us so well. If they don't do what we want, we feel hurt and think, how could you do that? You should know. So it's just saying be very expressive with what you're needing and wanting. And even if you've been with someone for 20 years, they still might need you to just tell them exactly what you're needing right now. That's kind of what I was just thinking about. Okay, I want to do one more for you. One last really, really good one for pile 3. Refuse to eat emotional poison. Taking things personally makes you prey for predators. They can hook your attention with one little opinion. You feed you whatever poison they want. And feed you whatever poison they want. Refuse to eat poison. Yeah, I feel like it's like refuse to take other people's insecurities and problems as your own. When they're like saying things, just know that they're probably saying things that they're struggling with about themselves at you, or putting it on you. So don't take that. Okay. You know, I think this is all I'm going to do for this pile. I hope this answers any questions you had. I feel pretty good about leaving it here. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful month, whenever you're seeing this. And you really are beautiful, wonderful people. I always love actually when I do readings for people whose energy is like this, because I'm like, you know, welcome to my channel. Hang out here as long as you want. You're amazing. And I would love to read cards for people who are this loving and amazing. And the more you come back to the channel, the more your guides give me messages to say for you. So I have no problems with that. But, you know, as always, you do you. Get dancing, clear yourself, just to make sure that right now you're not like holding on to any of those emotions that you are empathetically and compassionately experiencing with other people. So yeah, okay, maybe I'll see you around.